Okay. Okay.
Approval of minutes,
You had a chance to read all of them, Mike?
Mike?
I'll make the motion we approve last month's minutes.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded, approve the minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Answer your phone, Kim. Okay, financial report.
If you turn to the second page, that's a summary of the first page. Receipts for the month are in the first column, disbursements, and the treasurer's ending balances in the third column there. Total assets under the general fund, $589,054.77, which does include the fire territory there. Sewer operating maintenance, $80,869.77, and the other funds, 2 through 7 listed below, those balances have not changed. Loan payment went out first of the month for the sewer bond that we have. Other than that, no other major receipts or expenditures that I would report unless you want detail on something.
Street report.
Wait a minute, we gotta
Oh.
approve this.
Oh, okay. I didn't remember whether to vote on that or not.
I'll make a motion we approve the financial report.
Yes, second.
Seconded. Motion's been made and seconded. Those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None passes. Street report.
Don't have any street report due to the work injury I received.
Okay. Parks report.
We started planning for the 2015 Jamboree. We have our meetings on the third Monday of every month. I've invited anybody that's interested to come and have their input. I did get a check in the mail for a $300 donation from a classmate of mine, Ross Bailey, whose wife got killed in a car accident. That was a year and a half ago. I think.
Yeah.
A year ago. But I'll be giving that to Mark tonight. So we appreciate any help we can get with the Jamboree.
And when's your meetings held?
The third Monday of every month.
Here?
Yeah.
Could you give us a little idea of what you saw down at, Indy?
Well, we seen the guy with the laser show, he was there, and there's a fellow out of Muncie that brought the bouncy houses in the rock climbing wall last year. And he's got some other things that we might be interested in. He's supposed to be at the meeting Monday night, and hopefully we can see what he's got and what kind of deal we can work out with him. But we was real happy with him last year. The kids really enjoyed the rock wall, and this guy is from Muncie. He has a zip line too. So the other zip line guy, we've had him 2 years in a row, and I don't know if everybody that wanted to go down the zip line got to go down, or they did or didn't, or whatever. So, you know, we'll see.
Did he do all right last year?
He hasn't said anything.
Good.
So everything, you know, so far.
Money wise, he was satisfied.
Yeah, yeah, he was good.
Good deal. Thank you, Wayne.
Yep.
Sewer report? Same
No
deal?
Sewer report because of the work injury.
Okay.
Workman's comp.
Environmental report? Same deal?
Same thing. None because of the work injury and workman's comp.
Town attorney's report.
Okay. Not sure if you've all received copies of the lawsuit or not. That's,
I got
you
one.
got a copy?
I got it.
No, I didn't.
Okay. And I did turn that into the insurance company.
Is this the one that went before, the judge that you argued?
No, this is a new one.
Is it the same thing?
Similar.
What's the status of it, or where we at?
Turned it over to insurance. Insurance said that they were aware of the workman's comp claim. As to currently, the town marshal as listed in the petition to void the final action is requesting workman's comp. So therefore, he wouldn't be falling under the salary ordinances as it stands. So they are going to investigate and see where that falls. And then following up on that, the state of Indiana had made a request as to a response on the open door law, and a response was provided, and now the state has approximately 30 days or so to issue a ruling as to whether or not there needs to be an additional meeting or not, and where that falls. Any questions about those?
No, I don't.
All right.
I'm thoroughly briefed.
All right, next issue that I think is also under new business, but I also wanted to bring it up since I got an email, and that is the issue that's recently come up is that the Fire Territory Board and also Adams Township is concerned about the residents of Markleville as to the current status as to the provider unit. They want this town council to consider changing the provider unit from Markleville to Adams Township and not be the provider unit any further. If the town council wishes to proceed in that fashion, then we need to start having meetings because all of that has to be accomplished before April 1st. The citizens that were commenting to the Fire Territory Board and Adams Township are quite concerned about the citizens in Markleville as to the handling of the fire territory, and so therefore they wish the board to consider withdrawing as the provider unit and allowing Adams Township to be the new provider unit. If the council's interested in starting to schedule meetings, they've offered to pay for the necessary notices and to get that started in print so that the newspaper can get all the proper notices and we can get all the meetings scheduled so that there can be discussion on that before, like I said, April 1st. Any questions about that? And if so,
You wanted to talk, Dan?
I did. There's several reasons, and I'm one of the main reasons because we're supposed to be an advisory board to you two entities. And so it was my recommendation to the Township Advisory Board to start this process. Now, there's more to it than just that, because all you're essentially doing is switching who handles the money. Nothing else changes. You still have your representatives on the board, you still have the fire protection, you still have the ambulance protection. All we're doing is changing the money from Mark to the new trustee. absolutely the only thing that changes. So, we just need to know if that is of any interest. Mark, you got any input for me? No?
What you want me to say, it doesn't affect me one way or the other.
Okay.
Or you saying, John, I mean, have you thought about it or discussed it? Or?
I have not, Dan knows, I have not discussed with anybody at all. I had told Mark Bennett that I would present it to the town council. I mean, it's really the citizens of Adams Township and Markleville. I mean, as far as that's concerned, as far as whether they want Markleville to continue to be the provider unit or if they wish for it to be Adams Township. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And so I told Dan that I'd present it just like that and keep repeating it. I mean, because it really does come down to the citizens as far as who they want to be controlling the fire territory as far as the provider unit. I mean, as far as the money and the whole budget process. That's
When
what
you
it
say
really-
the citizens, are you talking a township or the town?
Well, at this juncture, as far as me presenting it to you, it'd be really the town. It'd be as far as the town people, as far as whether they want the town to continue to be the provider unit as to how the three of you wish to vote as to whether or not you want to consider it or not.
Well, here's what it amounts to. I've got nothing against it. But I will say this. If it reverts back to the township, where I understand the logic behind the township because it has a larger tax base and can afford to generate large sums of money, which Markleville can't do. We had that experience with the fire truck. I've got nothing against it, but I do say this, that after the occurrences of getting it all in place, in case you folks don't know, that was just finalized. I mean, truly final, paperwork done, what, 2 months ago, a month ago?
Fairly recently.
And we've been working on that how long? I know 4 years, and it was started before I came on. What I'm saying is this, don't come back.
Well, before we make any decisions, I think we ought to, in fact, it would be proper to make a motion that we start having some meetings with them to talk about it and discuss what the situation is and everything. What do you think, Mike?
I believe we need a little bit more information on it. Right now, this is coming from Mark Bennett, I'm not certain.
The township.
He's a township lawyer.
Township.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
You guys need to understand, Mike, that the only thing that it does is change who handles the money. There's no lapse in service, there's no.
You guys will still be there as a territory board and all that?
Absolutely, you're not changing anything from the way it is today, other than who handles the money. That's absolutely all it is.
So my question is, why would it matter who handles the money?
It's not up for discussion yet, is it? We're just talking about it.
let's,
My opinion is, we wouldn't have had it if they weren't in fear of the township being dissolved. So if that never occurred, that whole situation that the township feared, which is why we put this in place, that obviously didn't happen. So we wouldn't be having this conversation, because we wouldn't be.
But that still could possibly happen. It's on the
I'm
back
not saying that
burner.
it can't, but
That still could possibly happen.
it could happen at any time.
They didn't.
Here's what happens. Correct me if I
They
misspeak.
want.
If we back out of the present agreement, it goes back to the trustee. The trustee, if they eliminate the township government by state statute and activities, then it goes to a fire what In other words, it will be under the control of the county,
That is,
not under local control.
that's not true.
Okay, correct me then.
Well, first, just so you understand, they're not asking us to back out. Okay, okay, they're asking just to change them over to being the provider unit. Right now, they are participating and we are the provider. And they're asking for it to flip-flop. And they would put in a safety clause that if they are done away with, then everything goes to Markleville.
I'm
So,
gonna
What
make,
they're asking for is they are asking to change it over to Adams Township to be the main provider unit as to the budget and the money. Now,
Who does the financial burden fall on to get all
No,
this
no,
done?
what, just,
Does that make any sense to you, Ron? No.
what happens is, you're not talking about going to a district. You're talking about if one of the two, if they do away with the township government, the county council steps in as their other replacement, because that's your tax base, okay? They can do that today. Now, you guys would still be the provider unit, but with the county council as your other participating unit, we all know what's gonna happen with that anyway. So, it doesn't make any difference if the whole thing, if they did away with township government, your partner is then gonna be the county council, whether you're the participating unit or the provider unit. You're not going to a district. A district is its own taxing entity.
Forgive me for being ignorant, but I'm gonna ask a question. What makes the difference then?
Okay, so we have a trustee that is capable and willing to come out and work with the chief on more of a day-to-day basis, okay? She's retired, she can spend time with it. And we're trying to turn that fire station into the operation that it should have been 10 years ago, okay? And we've never had a trustee that was willing or capable to do that. Mark does everything he can do with his job and this,
But I work full-time and can't go out there anymore.
and she has time to spend with it and understands that she is only the facilitator. She is the funnel for the money. So,
I need more information. I'm gonna make a motion that we sit down with the township and talk.
Yeah, cause once you
Had
turn
some
that money
meetings.
over, they can come in and say, sorry, you don't work for us.
got it.
anymore. You don't work for us, no.
now wait, just, let's just back
I
up.
work in business, that happens every day.
I do too, but let me just say to that, is you've still got the same contract that you have right now. If the township didn't wanna be in it, they could just pull out.
It sounds like to me you're running in circles, man.
No, we're not running in circles. All we're trying to do is get the money. I'm sorry?
You're trying to get the money from here to
Let's
transfer to.
don't have a lot of conversation. That's-
I make a
I
motion
think-
that we
Yeah.
stop and put this down, get some input from the town, or from the Fire Protection Territory Board, and sit and talk with the trustees. Before we do anything.
I'll second.
Agreed it'll have to be made, done quickly, etc.
God, now we're taking me back to my favorite place, special meetings.
Well,
I have
we can put this on.
Last
township.
comment right there.
Okay, why, if it's working perfectly now without any problem, why do you want to change it? That's what my question is, why? Seeing as he said it would make no difference one way or the other, why don't you just leave it the way it is? If it's working, well, don't mess with it.
Can I ask a question of the people here in the room? At this point in time, there's three guys up here. I'm hoping and praying to God that you guys know which person it represents you here in the town.
We do.
Yeah.
Get a hold of those people. Monkey, you know what my phone number is 533-2373 for the north side of town. If you got input on that, rattle my cage, tell me. Whether you're for it or against it. Bob's sitting over here, Landis is sitting here.
I'll tell you right now, I'm against it, Bob.
Do you know what we're talking about? I mean, I don't even know all the facts. So
That's what I wanna know.
I don't like.
I want to know more about it before
I
I'm
don't
I.
like
concerned
the
about
changing of the
people
money
in
thing.
town.
Then I can take, hold on. I can take it that people here are in agreement, we need to have another meeting.
Definitely more details.
Okay, conversation's closed now, and I will post in the paper, both of them.
You're learning.
Yeah, I'm
we have
slow,
that?
but I get there.
Do we have that in
Yeah,
requested?
I'll make it in writing. We'll post it in the paper, and we will have a meeting specifically for the issue. Fair enough?
To the public?
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, I mean, that's,
Let's invite.
I'm
the
neither
township.
for it nor against it, and I'm basically, I mean, the two guys that know more about this than, with the exception of Dan and, what's your name again? Bob and I have been battling this for 3-4 years. I would definitely like your input. Because it's like I said in my first statements, it doesn't make a bit of difference to me, but don't come back. And what I'm basically not saying there in the first statement was, I don't see a reason to change. If it's what people want, otherwise I got arthritis. We'll go from there. We will talk about it. I will set a meeting up and it will be advertised. Fair enough?
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your input.
Can you get with the trustee and that board and so we can, shit's gotta be done before April 1st? John, has to be
What I'm
done
asking
before
for is
April
a-
1st.
And it all has to be done before April 1st.
We can get that done
I
before
think
April 1st.
All right.
Anything else,
It's a
Dan?
matter of how fast can you get the details. I pinpoint them down because we'll have to discuss it
I got no problem with that.
April week, you know.
Probably get it done before the end of the month.
All right, one more little issue
Oh,
for
okay.
the council to consider, and that is if a large group of people are gonna continue, other than the 3 that normally had been, 3 to 5 that had normally been attending the meetings, we probably need to discuss at some point having a larger venue as far as the meetings. I mean, just like when we had the special meetings before, as to a large group of people as to the fire territory. We found larger places last month when we knew in advance that there was going to be a large group of people. It's at the last minute where we don't know in advance that that's where the issues lie, and so there needs to be some kind of a discussion at some point.
For those of you who are not happy presently, I tried. I was gonna call Jan and Wayne because I was talking to John beforehand when I saw people start piling in up here. I did not anticipate that. I knew that there would be people here, but not to the number that there is. I'm sorry, I don't have a crystal ball. Had we had known ahead of time, I would tried to work through Jan and Wayne to have gotten the Hardy building.
Suggestion, I would always try to, because you do have this once a month, possibly as a backup plan.
Well, they have, the people that have the auction move their stuff in
They've already
on
got stuff.
Monday night.
Not have that
and-
many people come, obviously there's issues, and maybe it needs to be
They don't want a
rescheduled.
public meeting in there with all.
Oh, I understand, that's why I didn't, because I had gotten approval to just put a note on the door saying Hardy Building, but their stuff's already there. Yeah.
What about that?
Are you guys open to that? Excuse me just a minute.
That's not a problem for us if we know a couple weeks ahead of time.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Okay, okay.
And
What about
This
down at the
building
Methodist
inspected
Church?
by the state fire marshal. How did the 40, who inspected it and said it's 40 capacity? The state fire marshal?
Or somebody that had in township fire department.
Yeah.
You gotta have a state fire marshal come in here and inspect this building. You got that in paper? You got that in
Oh.
writing? That's
you-
my question.
Okay. The answer to your question is no.
Okay.
They wouldn't pass it with no exit sign, probably.
Oh, there's many things wrong, I imagine.
That's
Anything
it.
else?
No.
Okay.
What about the
So the
Methodist
number
church
was
down
just
here?
arbitrarily,
No, it was not arbitrarily done.
What about the Methodist church down here as a meeting place? They've got a nice
Is that
big
possible?
room.
No, that's not possible.
Okay, no, I was
I
just going through the
I
head.
just- you never know your turnout, I understand your situation, your position, but also too, if you have citizens wanting to participate, they shouldn't be turned away.
I don't disagree with
So
that.
if it's a matter of, there needs to be a backup plan, so I think that's another thing you guys need to discuss.
I don't disagree with that.
North Christian might be a possibility, I don't know. They have that big gymnasium.
It's true.
Just always have an action plan and a contact phone number and say, hey, we gotta line up, we gotta come down here tonight.
I have no problem with that. I have no problem in taking the heat, believe me.
Well, work it up.
Huh?
Work it up and agree to motion.
But that's what happened this evening. John?
I'm done.
Okay, comments by citizens. Are you, hold on just a minute. Just a minute.
Planning commission.
Oh, I'm sorry, planning commission,
No report.
no report, okay. Comments by citizens.
Still let that one report.
Well, they'll leave out.
Marshall's report.
There is no marshal, is there?
Well, I don't know whether there is or not.
No, there is not right now, but it's coming.
Well, it said in the list there, town marshal report, and it said town marshal, so I figured that somebody reported.
Are you still taking applications and stuff at the county?
It closes today.
There was no date posted in the paper, but yet there was on the snow removal.
It was supposed to have been posted today. I didn't see
How
it.
many applicants have you received?
We have a guy by the name of David Rhodey, R-H-O-D-E, Kevin Allen, and who's the other one?
David Weaver.
David Weaver.
And they're all local here?
Rhodey is, my understanding, lives in Yorktown. He's an officer at Eaton, Indiana. Kevin lives here. And Weaver lives Newcastle.
And he has previous,
Weaver used to be, I know Weaver, he used to be cop at Kennard, Shirley, someplace. Was it Kennard?
so have
Okay.
you done any interviews with these?
No, because we can't at this point in time. That will be coming up this next
Working on
month.
background check?
That will be coming up this next month.
And that will be a team effort with the board?
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Copies of all this have to be distributed. I will call a meeting, and that again will be a executive meeting, because we will be discussing the pros and cons of these. Then we will come forth, to my understanding, and make our final deliberation in front of an open meeting.
That sound right.
Well, except for the fact that we've got to make sure the notice was posted as far as the deadline, or whether or not there was a deadline presented at the last meeting. I don't know.
Supposed to be. Was it?
There was not, that's what I was, the
It was in the
deadline
paper.
for the snow
Did you read it in the paper?
It was in the
There was
paper,
no
there was no
deadline.
deadline for
There
It
was
the,
said this,
I put in there
but
that we
I
were
was
accepting
angry because you had a
applications.
deadline for the snow removal.
but it said the same thing for the marshal, February 9th.
No, it did not.
Well, it did not. Pendleton paper or Anderson paper, either one.
Neither one had a date, but there was for the snow removal, and I couldn't understand why there was a due date on the contract for snow removal when we're without a marshal.
That must have been a paper mistake.
And hey, you pay for it, we pay for it, address it with, get a credit for the next one, because you got another something else for the paper.
Under the circumstances, correct me where I'm wrong, John, if there's no deadline, then it's still open.
It's open.
Well, you can close it at any time, I mean, can you not? I mean, we're accepting applications.
Right now, yeah.
We can accept applications for 2 years and not hire one. You don't have to put a deadline on it to make a decision, and that's why I didn't put one on there.
What's your
because
advice?
It's up to you guys.
What happens if we let, it runs, we post it in the paper that it's closing, 15th of February or something like that?
When it closes 15th of February.
Jack?
I just had a question. what kind of liability is this putting the town in, and this is the citizens of the town, with no police department? Don't the Articles of Incorporation or wherever way back, it's one of the reasons to have a town, to guarantee public safety, the utilities, the various things. We're not providing those. Something happens, I as a citizen, I'm gonna sue the hell out of you, to be right honest about it, because that's one of the things my taxes are going for, and it's not happening.
Okay. Then under the circumstances of your comments, Jack, I would solicit a motion from the board for a period of 30 days, no less, nor a period of 60 days, no more, to put Kevin Allen in as marshal. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion, we
Background check.
put Kevin in.
With no background check, you're probably in more of a liability.
No background check.
What's the word?
I don't know this guy.
What's the word?
He made a motion.
I'll second the motion. Those in.
Can you second as the president of the board?
Most surely can.
So Mike, I don't know why you show up.
Discussion.
I'm against it. Flat out, period, against it. No background check. What's his qualifications?
Yeah, you
Have
can't
nothing
do
going on. I've,
That's liable. I mean,
Sam could probably tell you his qualifications. He was on your group for years, wasn't he, Sam?
I don't have, he was, but he's not any longer. I don't have the records with me. I can't get in the police department. I've been locked out of it.
We have all been locked out of it. I have a computer setting over there and some things.
You'll get 'em.
and that's something that I've been getting some information, feedback on, that people tried to get a hold of him, get access to their stuff, and he's not available. I wanna know what
who's not
Kevin
available?
Allen is doing anything with the town right now at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why is everybody handing stuff over to a citizen? Yeah, I
To
do.
a
He's just a
citizen?
citizen. He's not a police officer.
What's been handed over? Just a minute, Scott.
Has he got access to the police department?
No.
Marsh, you got that letter?
Then why are we supposed to contact him?
Yeah, right, exactly.
To get
Why
our
not a
stuff.
Board member.
You wrote the letter.
That's exactly right. As per design, I can assign to anybody to that position. He has knowledge of the police department, he knows who owns what, he knows what's to go where, and he's,
Not been employed here for so long, so he can't be the one to do that.
well, there will be no more discussion.
Shut down.
Scott, you had a question?
Yes, I had a question. You know, a couple of weeks ago, you was out the bait mark showing everybody a gun. Are you getting this guy here so you don't have to show everybody a gun? And I got witnesses you showing people gun at the bait mark. So what's
So
your answer
what?
to that?
So what?
Why would
You can't do that.
I can't what?
That you're intimidating the taxpayers.
Why is that board member, would you be going around showing guns?
Yeah, why would you be out there at the bait mark and showing a gun to people? Oh, I got a gun, yeah, okay, what?
Have you,
What's your question?
have you
That's my
stated,
question.
have you
Answer.
stated your
Answer.
point?
Yeah, I'm stating the point.
Thank
Answer.
you.
Why would you do that?
Thank you for your
You're pointing him so
comment.
you don't have to show a gun to everybody?
Thank you for your comment.
No, it's
What's,
not.
what's the answer?
There is no answer.
There is no answer. Once again.
So why Kevin Allen? Why not any of these other two?
Kevin Allen is the senior ranking member of the people that were left on the board.
No, he wasn't.
Not on the board, but of the police
It
department.
was not
He
on.
was let
Jack?
go in September.
Okay, here's where it sits. That's it, that's the statement, that's what's been made.
There again,
Discussion
citizens
from
have no
board.
rights, right?
I'm against it.
Okay.
There's
We've
no
got two
background
against it.
check, there's nothing else. This wasn't discussed
In my-
between us
No,
three.
it can't be.
No,
You know we
you're
can't
gonna make
discuss
it safer
stuff.
For everybody, aren't you?
How can you put somebody in there and go background check?
Sam,
I'm saying-
did he have a background check when he worked for you? Kevin?
When he worked for me
Yeah,
and I
for
let him
what,
go.
12 or 15 years?
Yes,
Did he have a background check?
Yes, he did. You were there. Shut up.
Okay, that's it. That's it. No more talk.
Keep it, fat ass.
Okay, you need to leave.
I don't care.
Gone.
Me. Woo-hoo. That board president talking shit again. Yeah, slap your hands, smart fat ass. Clap them hands.
That's enough, Bailey. Bailey?
Yeah, he needs to go too.
Bailey? It works for her, it works for you.
Yes.
Please.
Thank you.
Is Kevin Allen here?
Yeah.
Where's he sitting?
Back there in the corner.
Go keep an eye on her.
Right in the corner,
Will you please?
right behind Landon. Sitting there in a great blue coat.
We don't need it, Gale people. We don't need it.
Is he sitting in a
I'll
blue
take
coat?
back my
Landon?
statement, I think you got as much liability one way as the other.
I think you do too.
I think it needs to be discussed, and you've already had a nay, so you need to interview, background check as you.
And that will occur in the next 30 days. But for now, Kevin Allen, by a 2-to-1 vote, is your new marshal.
There needs to be a vote.
You made the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Aye.
Nay.
Since you want to
2 to
do a
1.
background check and then we do a background check,
You can do anything you
so
want.
Sam, you said you fired him?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Do you recall why you fired him?
Yes.
Can you answer that? As
I
his-
think you need to take that out of here, okay? The only reason I'm saying that is,
Oh, that's fine, I just, cause, I just heard he was fired.
well, his application's laying up there. I don't wanna be swayed this way or that way. If he's
Oh, I know
fully
you're
qualified, passes all the information, everything like this, he's got,
But then the background check is,
yeah. If he's upright, upstanding,
but really, you think you'll have, I honestly
can't
thank
tell
you
you.
for your time, but the decision, Lord Master's made.
well,
So, but you put forth the effort and review. I appreciate
I've been
that.
I want to review it before I don't want to be swayed.
You know,
I've got some
And
concerns
I
anyway.
appreciate that in you.
He's been on the Markleville force for 11 years.
that doesn't mean he has.
And
Takes certain training for somebody to be chief. through ILEA.
according to council,
We actually have a part-time town marshal. I hear this word chief. We have in the contract, in the letters that you were talking about, hired a part-time town marshal.
And why would
That's the
you
way
not-
it's been since forever.
When
They
was
haven't
this
had a
notified?
contract since '02 or '03.
But it says it automatically renews every.
No, it doesn't.
We're not getting into that again, but
we're not
that's-
going there.
it's a town marshal's job. A town marshal, part-time.
Who has to have training,
State law.
has to.
The Indiana State Police.
Take it the next
Here's our
step
lawyer taking
further.
up with him. That's all I
Next
got.
business.
That's what I'm saying. If you have problems with it, there are avenues of recourse.
Exactly.
I
Here's
can
our
guarantee
lawyer.
you, we have reviewed the circumstances.
You guaranteed us that you've made your decision. Okay. Continue on.
It's basically what you said, right?
Yes.
What's that, Scott?
You guaranteed you made your decision that he's gonna be the marshal.
No, for 30 to 60 days until we get a chance to review
You do his
these.
background check. Okay.
Wait,
And
it would
this
appear
road,
to
both his
us
first
here
name,
that you made your decision when you wrote your letter about seeing him. That was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, next point, unfinished
Board
business.
over here, which is the town board?
Unfinished business is the next point.
Yeah,
One
snow
question.
plowing.
Snow plowing.
Landis, can I ask one question?
Sure.
Mr. Allen? Mr. Allen, are you willing to accept that proposal?
Yes.
Okay. Because we heard that,
Yeah,
you
thank
know, that,
You're right.
but he didn't accept it. So I guess for now, there it is.
Okay, unfinished business, snow. How
Nasty
many,
four-letter word.
how many proposals did we have for moving snow? Oh, Dan Greider's son asked to be removed from it.
I have a couple of guys that push snow, and I've asked them if they were interested, and they said they were. You want me to get cards from them?
Just a minute,
Okay.
because this was posted correctly with a date on it. You said it did have a date on it in the postings?
Good. Is that this?
today.
Okay.
You're Denise Brown.
$7 per hour. Okay, that's McCorkle at 70.
Haven't we had
Here, you
McCorkle
guys
before?
could read those. McCorkle at 70 an hour.
Haven't we had them before? Haven't we had them before?
Not to my recollection. Last year it was stolen. Here's one at 75 an hour. This fellow didn't have it. Bid.
Slide that down here, would you like?
Here's one from snow removal, Charles Moore. 69 an hour. This is Griders.
Oh, right.
Well, I'm just making sure it is. I think that it's just this. Yeah, this is Grider. That's done.
Okay, McCorkle looks like he's local. Where's this guy?
Which one is it? Has that got a price on it?
For some information, they've been doing it for more than 25 years. I know what exactly you get out of snow removal contracts, and we fit that niche to submit a bid. Please feel free to contact us.
No
He's
numbers?
just, well, he's got a phone number down here and it's got an email, but he's not, we would be soliciting him.
That was done.
Here's a guy for,
So we got,
Let me see.
What happened with the guy back in the fall that submitted the first time he put out for it?
right here.
it's right there. This is
$75
$75 an hour.
The guy right there.
McCorkle is 70,
And
and this
69.
guy is
Charlie Moore, 69.
69.
Charlie Moore's the guy that done it the first time when in the.
And he lives here
done a heck of
locally.
a good job, and he is local, he lives right here east of town.
Yep, he is local. That's something that, to me, is a big thing. Somebody local, somebody that's, can look out the door and say, yeah, people are having trouble getting around, et cetera. I know for quite a few years, I pushed the snow here in town. I sit over there and I'd watch people slipping and sliding and everything else when you ain't much snow. But by God, they didn't have any problem getting through that much snow. But anyway, I could see it when it needed. So that, to me, is a big point.
What do you think about that guy right there then?
Well, Charlie?
That's the lowest bid
Charlie?
by
I'll put it to you this way.
$1.
I'll put it to you this way. When I quit plowing snow, the people that I plowed snow for regularly, I referred to Charlie.
He's a hard worker.
Yeah,
Pardon?
he did a
You
good
gonna
job.
make a motion? You gonna make a motion?
I'll make a motion
He
for it.
actually like
I'll
that's
second
my
it.
drive.
Let's go with it. I'll
Charlie?
second
It
it.
was
Charlie?
easier.
Yeah.
to get out.
Yeah, 'cause normally they would only make one lap down the road,
Yeah.
so therefore Scott has to clean from the garage, clear out half the road.
Motion on the floor, it's been
So he at
seconded.
least went down twice.
Motion's been made to accept Charlie Moore's snow removal bid at 69 an hour. It's been seconded. Those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
I do think we need to, when we talk to Charlie, to make certain he goes back and opens up driveway mouths.
Okay.
Or the mouth of the driveway, you don't,
Thank you. Because where I live, my neighbor across the street does not have a driveway. Guess where they park? Right on the road. If you do not open up the driveway,
well, my concern is, there's a lot of old folks in this town, just like me, that get out there and try and shovel snow and have a heart attack. And we don't want Dan and his crew coming for us, right?
and it's possible to get you a heart attack.
Yeah, but not necessary.
They got right over there.
Yeah.
So this one, I'm assuming our next snow, he'll be on it, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Home Avenue. I leave at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm
Come see my
familiar.
buddy Frank.
I think Charlie will do a good job.
No, I know last time
He
you
did
did,
do a
I said
good
you took
job.
2 swipes down the road.
But I tell you how I fixed that driveway thing. I paid you $25 to do mine. I'm not gonna let the town pay for mine.
No,
That's the way I do
No.
mine. I pay him 25.
Oh, I'm not
to do
talking the
mine.
driveway, he actually just went to the sidewalk, the curb, whereas before we only
You
had
didn't
one.
bury your driveway in with,
Yeah, exactly.
And one little
He
street.
kinda made an
Yeah.
effort where the drives were to kind of swoop in to not have
Yeah.
a pile up that.
Got any new
Do
business?
we get that favoritism out on the highway?
They're not gonna have, that's your highway problem.
State will probably do that.
That's a state for you.
I second that one.
New business.
yeah,
Yeah.
new business,
All this favoritism's going around.
new business.
Just one issue, and I don't know how you guys
Sure.
want to handle is the car.
Okay.
So, I mean, I know that Sam owns
Glad you brought that up, because I forgot to put it on my notes. Correct me where I'm wrong, Sam. One of the issues that has been brought forth is that the car, which Sam owns and leases to the town, correct? Okay. Has a lot of the police lights, radios, this, that, and everything else. It's laden with equipment that's purchased by the town. Sam approached me the other day at the post office, if you, correct me where I'm wrong, or if you want to vary your pricing, said he would, we were going to initially make Sam an offer to purchase his car at market value. That saves all the problem of stripping it out. Sam said he would take $6,000 for it. I'm open.
what year is it, Sam?
2005.
05, the white one?
Yeah, the white one, it's got a brand new motor, brand new front end.
That's the 4.6
Yes.
liter.
Yep.
That motion, I mean, excuse me, not a motion, but that has been approved through the legal eagle, that we make an offer or we purchase the car, so it's up to the board. Is that not correct, John?
There's gonna be cost involved, and in addition, we have to pay Sam no matter how it goes. So that's, my suggestion was going to be to make an offer, or see if Sam wanted to make an offer as to the vehicle. It sounds like he's made an offer of $6,000, so his offer to the town is $6,000.
That money's on the general fund.
Good question, I don't know. Where's that money gonna come from?
Or you can take it out of the police equipment fund.
We're not paying anybody, we have money.
Or the police equipment, yeah, the savings
What's in the police savings account, police account?
in there.
Yeah,
Let's talk about it.
okay.
Do we need 3 police cars?
Okay, folks, now, I would like to let us talk, and I'm not trying to eliminate you, I'm just saying we're probably gonna make a decision right now, so let us talk. We'll do it loud enough for you to hear us.
My question was, do we need 3 police cars? I mean, well, we got about a 5-mile area here,
That's a good point.
square mile, 5 square miles, and we need 3 police cars?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask this question. We've got 2 now, I know, was it the Dodge? It's relatively new.
Yeah, what year is that, Sam, that Dodge?
I couldn't tell you, I don't have a clue.
It's pretty.
4 years,
Yeah, probably 4 or 5.
it's 4 or 5
Your
years old.
Ford, your black and white Ford, your black and white Ford is worn out.
So in other words, if we would have to replace it, we'd be looking at a tremendous amount of money, but
Yes.
Okay,
Take the
is it
equipment out of
full
my
gear?
car, it's gonna cost you approximately $1,200 to $1,500 to take that equipment out, have it freshly done. I cannot do it, I'm on workers' comp, there's no way with my telephone. Broke. So it's got a new motor in it, John Holmes put it in, it's got a new front end, it can vouch for the car.
So the black and white, you're saying 3 cars. Black and white, if it's shot, we'd still be looking at tearing the guts out of it before it could be sold, correct?
Well, unless we could sell it as is to a town somewhere.
To another town, yeah.
That's how we bought it, I think. We bought it used.
I bought it with the savings account that we got in from grants. I
It
bought
was
that.
used though, wasn't it?
Mhm, and then they gave us the motor for it.
Yeah. I remember that when we got that.
So really, in a way, it sounds like to me, we've got a car that's functional, that's loaded up, ready to go. It's not marked, we'd probably have to get it identified. We got a car that's ready to fall over on its face.
According to John Holmes, that black and white car is worn out.
To me, it makes sense to go ahead and buy it. We just have to repaint it, but we're still gonna have to get it stripped, the black and white stripped out, but
Deal, yeah.
yeah, if we're not gonna try and put it back into use, if we throw chains around the equipment and yank the equipment out, and tear the car up, it would not out anything. To me, it makes
That
sense to
makes
replace the black and white. It's just a matter where the money comes from, I guess. Do we have the
Mark
money?
said we got money in the police equipment fund.
Is that for this year, or is that left over from last year?
It's not a budgeted
It's
item.
not a budgeted item, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question, how much money is in the Markleville Police Savings Fund, Mark?
20,700 and some.
And the money for the vest was taken out of that already? Okay.
Dan?
May I ask a question? You just appointed an intern chief, aren't you? Ask him his opinion.
What?
You just appointed an interim chief. Marshall, why don't you just ask his opinion, what he thinks about the car situation?
Are you familiar with the cars, Mr. Allen?
I am. I have not been into black and white in probably 6-8 months, so I don't know the physical condition of the car is okay. I don't know how the motor is. I don't know how the front end is. I know we had problems with both.
In the black and white
In the
car?
black and white.
So would you feel good about climbing in and putting it into service?
No.
So do you feel
Done deal.
buying the white
Done deal.
car off of Sam would be a
Done
good
deal.
deal?
Not for me.
Make a motion.
Well, let's,
Well, he's already told you, I'm saying make a motion, it's gonna pass. It's a good deal. I mean, if Kevin says that, and he's the one that's driven it, none of us have driven it. I mean, it only makes sense, that's a done deal.
Well, Sam has, he said the same thing.
Yeah,
I was like,
He basically said the same thing as Kevin.
I know that one, and I think it was John that was talking about the black and white, said the front end was ready to fall out from under it.
then you agree with we
So
need to
you
replace it.
shouldn't.
It's done.
I can't make motions.
That motion was already made.
Was it?
Yeah,
I'm senile, forgive me.
hard of hearing too, all right?
You make it.
Huh?
Yeah, I make the motion
I'll
to
second it.
buy the
Motion's
car.
been made and seconded, we buy the car, $6,000. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. You get a check.
Give like a few days to get his personal stuff out
That's very reasonable.
Not a problem.
We won't expect
Any other new
anything
business?
until the check's cut.
Is there any other new business?
Yeah, we need to adopt the salary ordinance for this year.
The what?
Salary ordinance.
We didn't change anything, did we?
we didn't, and I've got listed here on number 3 as town marshal, I've got that listed as a vacant position. But I think it needs to be discussed what compensation is going to be for temporary marshal. I don't think that needs to go in here, but, so if you want to approve that without any changes.
That's exactly
Well,
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a motion, we approve the salary ordinance without any changes.
Are we gonna start a new person off at,
Without any changes.
You can't, correct me where I'm wrong, you can't back up a pay schedule for employees of government money, can you?
Well, there's gonna be discussions with whomever you hire.
Okay, then let's word it like this, see if you agree with this. Let the pay schedule stay as is, not to exceed last year's schedule. But we could, through negotiations with Kevin,
Is that pro
start
rata?
it at lower.
Is that pro rata?
I am not Latin. What the hell does pro rata mean?
Well, based upon, I mean, you're just doing it on an interim basis. The ordinance for the other town marshal was for a whole year.
Okay,
So, I mean, you're not,
This is an interim.
yeah, this is just an interim. So just during the
During
interim
that
period.
interim, I'm saying, my motion is, which is on the floor, we make no changes in the salary ordinance.
you gonna second?
I want to understand real quick.
Okay.
This is new to me, this part is. What you're saying, Bob, is we pay Mr. Allen the same amount as what we were paying Sam?
Yes, no changes in the salary ordinance.
And how do you feel about that being told how much you're gonna pay without even knowing that dollar figure?
That motion's on the
The
floor.
motion's on the floor. If you're not gonna second it, I am.
Well, I would just want to understand it.
Yeah.
Can that be changed based on his?
In
If
next
he-
year's budget, it can. When in August, when we start making the budget for next year, it can.
When we start doing the interviewing and selection. He's not as qualified as Sam or what have you, for whatever reason. Can it be changed? Is that
At
locking
the
our
end, at
hands?
the end of
Let me see
sometime
if I can
between
say this a
30.
different way. My motion was not to change the salary ordinance. Now, if that don't get a second, somebody else make a motion. It'll die without a second.
I've already seconded it.
My motion was to not change the salary. We've already got it budgeted. We're already got it in play. That was my motion. Now, if nobody wants a second, well, it'll die.
You already seconded it.
It's already seconded.
Well, okay, then let's vote.
So moving on, it's seconded. Thank you. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? You abstaining?
Yeah,
It's the first time.
because I
passes.
don't have enough information to make a
I understand.
good.
The maximum impact is going to be 30 to 60 days, so. Yeah,
I'm looking past that too.
well, and that's one things we have to cover in the future too.
That's our meeting coming up.
All right,
Is he gonna be able to hire reserves?
I don't see why not. There were 4 people, to the best of my knowledge, that never relinquished their badge, never relinquished their identification cards. That's the best of my knowledge. Hiring, I don't know about that. That's his problem. We will review that as time comes forth.
Whose problem? Oh,
Huh?
the reserve?
No,
So you've already
Marshall.
made your choice without looking at these resumes?
You mean,
no, for the interim, for this 30 to 60 days. Yes,
there was 4?
3 or 4 or 5, I don't know.
You said on TV, Sam, that there was 10 turned their badges in.
There were 4 that didn't.
Locked out somehow.
He used the words.
No, didn't you say on TV that 10 had turned their badges in?
Let's go on.
Yeah, that's
I
neither
just-
here nor there.
No more new business? Well, we're gonna pay bills and that's it. Then we'll adjourn.
I'll make a motion with adjourn.
I was just gonna say motions to adjourn.
Yep.
You know, you don't actually need a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, second. Aye.
Aye.
We just bypassed you, we don't give a shit about what you vote.
That's all right.
I gotta talk to John. I gotta talk to John Reader.
Oh, Reader?
Yeah, because I've still got an outstanding.
Right back over the back door on the left.
Will you throw me what, I can use the restroom? Where's it at?
Back there on the left.
Hey, Wayne, Jan?
Do not leave. I've got a million things for you guys to sign, so.
Yeah, just let us know if you guys are gonna do it. So we just tell them, hey,
The thing was, I didn't know it till 5 o'clock when everybody started showing up.
There is some police reports that I need copies of.
we'll tell them for next month.
We're seeing an attorney
Is that all right with you?
about the guy that bought the house behind my house.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, almost left.
We'll tell them the date and death.
Mike
Shoot the
Austin.
son of a
We'll
bitch.
just kind of plan on next month.
Austin.
Is that gonna be in there?
Austin's one,
Surely it'll die down.
Sorry about my language, but that's what he did.
I've heard it before.
But he didn't do anything, and this guy bought it. The bank, right in the middle of his sentence, divides my property into 2 lots.
So you're needing,
That we've had trouble with him and his people, and we've had to call the police out there a couple times. So there should be a couple police reports